Goes. Super. All right. Welcome to Get Started and Retire Early Through Real Estate Investing. Today, I wanted to introduce you to a friend of mine, friend, business partner, just a great gal all the way around the board. And the main reason is because she gets 98% of what I do. I'm going to say 98% because we've got to be, it can't be perfect, right? But it's damn close. So anyways, welcome to your weekly training. We went over just recently the tax master class, and I wanted to touch on that just briefly as we move forward into this interview, because what I mentioned in there was some gold nuggets. Some of you got it, some of you didn't. Some of you caught the replay. But in that, it's about really keeping more of the money you make. And that's what Becky and I are all about, is keeping more of the money you make. Because why would you give it away if you don't have to? And some of us think, well, but it's just the way of the world, right? Well, it's not. It's not. And you get to control your world. And you do this by, as I said in the masterclass, by being an entrepreneur and having real estate assets. So this is why I'm bringing Becky on to help you guys see a little bit about what that really looks like in real life. So Becky, welcome to the weekly training here in the group.
Thank you. Yes, I'm excited to be here.
Good. Would you mind just going ahead and letting people know who you are and what you do?
Sure. I do everything. My name is Beck Estep Noble, and I am the credit coach queen. And I am a serial entrepreneur and have been so since I was probably, 12 or 13 years old. I think if you have it in you, you're born with it. And if you don't, you should learn how to be born with it. And so it's a lot of mental mindset stuff.
Yes, absolutely. Would you mind sharing how many businesses that you have?
Currently, I have 4 businesses. Currently, I have 4 businesses that I'm working. Some of it very part-time and some of it more full-time and some of it all full-time.
Gotcha. And why would you have more than one business?
Well, I would say because of COVID. Just kidding. I think that everybody after COVID is realizing that there's no security in just doing one thing in the world, and that you should have multiple streams of income to build your assets. But I think pre-COVID, everybody should have been doing that because it's the same thing. You need to have multiple streams of income to build assets. And so the rich people know that, the 5% of the population know that, and they understand it. And so they keep doing that. And so we should do it too.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's one of the businesses that I wanted to talk to you about today? So business, Becky is all about business credit and personal credit, really making sure those are dialed in. It's really huge to people's forward movement as a business and in personal life, right? But do you want to explain the Starfish program business that you have and why you are a part of it?
Sure, absolutely. Thanks. So I might just back up a couple of steps and say, when we talk about being like an entrepreneurial type person, like I started a business when I was 19, I had a cleaning business, and then I got into real estate investing for a little while. And then I got into, oh my gosh, my brain is distracted. Yes. And then I got into starting the credit repair business. And so I started helping people like master plan out whatever it is they wanted to do using credit. And then I got into the business side of that, where I help business owners do the same thing, like master plan how they wanted to scale up. And so somewhere in the middle of that journey, I got into the Starfish Perks platform and figured out that it's a savings platform that helps people save money. And like now they're up to 500 stores. Who knows how much further down the road it'll be. But either way, it's a savings platform, drops down the cost of living, of everyday expenses, anywhere from 1 to 15%. And I think that's amazing in an economy like today. And so I just kind of added that as another stream of income, because on the flip side of that, I get all these great tax benefits for having like this business in a box right from my cell phone. There's barely any overhead. And so it just made a lot of sense in today's day and age and kind of economy to have a platform that brings down my costs of inflation. And then also I can make like this ridiculous amount of money doing it. And it works great with the real estate game and the real estate. There's a lot of things that I can do through the app to save myself money on real estate investing too, which, yeah, I mean, if you want me to move to the next subject, I totally can do that.
No worries. No worries. So the reason I'm asking, so can everyone that's listening right now put hashtag live or hashtag replay? So I know where you're at right now. I want to say hello. But also what's important here is, are you an entrepreneur? You could just put E in there because most of us can't spell entrepreneur. I don't know. I get stuck on it myself. So just put E in the comments if you're an entrepreneur, and put a W if you have a job, right? You could put EW if you have both. Some people do. But I kind of want to know who's listening, right? And where you're at. And mostly, the more I know that, the better I can serve you, right? So type an E in the comments if you're an entrepreneur right now, okay? Or type a W if you're a W-2 person, or type EW if you're both.
Nice.
Right? So that we can help you to keep more of the money you make. Like this is what this is all about, right? Keeping more, getting the income in and then keeping more of the money that you make is the bottom line here. Bottom line wealth is all about the bottom line. Okay. So explain a little bit about this business in a box. How does it work? So why do you, this is what I heard, and I want you to explain to the audience if you don't mind, why do you incorporate it with your credit repair people?
Well, there's so it's an earn and learn app platform that you put on your phone. And I love the learning side of it because it teaches you how to think like a millionaire, because millionaires are teaching it. And so that part for me is why I do it. I like the savings platform. I like savings money. There's a whole bunch of companies out there that do this kind of thing. Not quite like this, because none of them pay me for sharing it with people. And so this company actually pays me to share it with people. But also what I love so much is that a lot of people that come to me with credit challenges, like they're overextended on how much money that they have at the end of each month, their bottom line, right? And so they can actually literally start this business instead of paying Uncle Sam taxes from their W-2s, that they're a W-2 employee, they get taxes taken out of their paycheck, and by starting a business, they can use that as a tax write-off. And now they have like this super smart strategy where they're just taking and reallocating the tax money to business, and they get to write off all this other stuff too. And so it is the most amazing tax strategy ever. And it can help make them money so that they can pay off their debts faster, so that they can get out of this crazy financial matrix, so that they're not stuck in slave debt the rest of their life. And so it sounds small, but that's huge. That's everything.
Oh my God, that's huge. I mean, really, to pay next to zero in taxes is what I'm all about, right? And that's why I brought you on here today, so that people can also hear there's a really simple way, other than just having real estate, to be an entrepreneur, a very simple way to be an entrepreneur. So if you're not an entrepreneur yet, you should be. So if you want to be an entrepreneur, I would like you to type starfish in the chat.
Nice.
It's really simple. It helps you to keep more of the money you make on a daily basis and tax time basis, right? And it's an educator on how you can leverage money, how to capitalize on money, learn how money works from millionaires who teach financial fitness. You just can't get any better than that. You just can't. So if you're needing, and I'm saying needing, and I don't say that very often, but you need to be an entrepreneur. Okay. And this is for tax purposes. This has nothing to do with me or Becky. It's for your tax purposes. And we're all about taxes this month. It's March Madness. We're getting ready for file our taxes. So I'm all about saving you on taxes. How do you pay next to zero on taxes? This is the big part of it, being an entrepreneur. Right? The second part of this is having real estate assets. Having real estate assets gives you that the strategy. So my CPA tells me hold at least one property a year. I don't care if you're wholesaling and fixing and flipping, making the cash, but you need to hold at least one property a year. My CPA just saved me $33,000. So I'm listening to my CPA. So I'm translating what my CPA tells me so I can tell my audience how to keep more of the money that you make. You like that? Right? Free help. So on the real estate side of it, what have you done recently, Becky?
So on the real estate side of things, I had a property and I was like, do I sell it? Do I keep it? I went through this whole like roller coaster ride of trying to figure out exactly what to do with this property. And at the end of the day, with the way the market is right now, right this second, it is better for me to hold it. And so it led me to a whole new conversation with Joanna because she's so amazing and she's been doing and helping people with real estate investing for 20 years now, like helping them get retired and desire and all of that. It's all up to you and how you want to do it. And so I think the first conversation I ever even had with Joanna about the real estate investing stuff, it was like, okay, this was my goal and this is what I wanted to do. And then she's like, okay, well, this is how you do it. And so like 5 minutes, she cleared up what I had been pondering in my brain fuzzily for years. And so I've been so excited to like team up with her on so many projects anyway. And so whenever we came across this rental thing, I was like, okay, well, it's been 10, 15 years since I've rented any property. So what do I do? And she's like, oh, here's a sheet and let's just go through the steps. And so she's really been, man, such a great help. I always appreciate how easy it is to work with her. And so, yeah, that's my story. I actually got it rented today. And so I'm so excited. We're working through finishing up a couple of things and it'll be ready to be rented by April 1st. And so it's done. And so now I don't have to worry about it. I can move on to my next entrepreneurial subject thing that I'm doing.
I love it. Love it. If you could point out maybe one or two things that you've learned since joining my program, what would they be?
Just ask Joanna. I'm just kidding. No, like, so the one thing that was cleared up for me super fast was my goal is to have like 30 properties. And I wanted to, in my early 20s when I was ambitious, just kidding, I'm still ambitious. I am smarter about my ambition. In my early 20s, I wanted to buy 30 rental properties, own them free and clear, and then travel the world. That was like my whole goal in life. And so, and then 2008 started happening, life got in the way. I didn't make the smartest choices. I bought a lemon property, some things happened. And so on the other side of that, whenever I went to Joanna and I said, hey, this is what I want to do. She said, hey, well, why don't you just buy an apartment complex? And I was like, oh, 30 doors all at once. That is really logical. So I'd say the biggest aha moment I've ever had with her is that one thing. And so I don't know what somebody else's aha moment when it comes to real estate investing, but there are like lots of strings that probably hold people back from wanting to do it. And I'd say that the biggest thing that I've gotten from Joanna is to show me how to remove all those strings in a smart way so that I don't get myself caught up in a trap where I have to walk away from it all again. So trust.
Nice. Love it, love it, love it. So I appreciate you sharing your story and the different things that you've learned, and why being an entrepreneur and saving on taxes. Like, there's a list of things here and it's pretty awesome. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and type them in the comments. If you have any questions, Becky will come back around and ask or answer any questions, as will I. But again, if you're, an entrepreneur, type E, so I know who's listening. If you're W-2, type W. We want to help you save more money, right? No, keep more of the money you make. Then, of course, if you're both, let me know. And then type R. I forgot about this one. Type R if you have real estate, right? Or you want real estate, right? WR. I know that's a lot of instructions, and I usually just give you one call to action. But this is something I want to learn from you, from my audience, where you're at and where I help to get you to go to, right? I need to know the direction that you're in, needing to go, so that I can guide you in these weekly trainings.
It's really good leadership.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, all of this really has to deal with your leadership. Like, so you get to dictate your life. I know a lot of people live and they let life happen to them, and you live reactive to what happens in life. But think of it this way: if you could control a little bit more of your life into being proactive, right, instead of reactive. This is leadership, and this is what we're all about. We're all about leveling up your leadership, because you only are going to be and do as much as your leadership development is. So why not grow that so that you can make more money, be more in your life, right? For your family, for your friends, for your passion, right? Raise that bar. What's your next cut? What's your next cut? How are you moving that needle forward? Or are you just being passive, being a drifter and watching life go by and being on the hamster wheel and going to work, coming home, cleaning up, going to bed, getting up, going to work, coming home, cleaning, repeating the same process every single day and praying for something to change your life? We have all the tools to change your life. You have to up-level your leadership to take charge of it. We teach you to do that. So I hope this has been helpful. Is there any final words that you have for anyone out there in get started in real estate investing land?
I get with Joanna yesterday if you haven't gotten with her yet, so that she can map out your plan for you, so you're not stuck on a hamster wheel for the rest of your life, because that's no fun. And we really love meeting new people, and so we want to meet you too. Nice. So yeah, in closing, if you guys have any questions, just type them in the comments. But we are really here to give and direct you into a best way for you. So the more you participate, the more you comment, the more you let us know where you're at, the better we can serve. All right. So lots of love to you guys. I'll see you next week. Thank you so much, Becky, for coming. Absolutely. It was fun. My pleasure. All right. Have a beautiful week.